Well, as we continue our year in review, we are now joined with Colleen Young for the constituency of Lloydminster on the Saskatchewan side MLA. So thank you so much for joining me in studio today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for the invitation, Michaela.
Thank you. So want to get into the oil and gas sector. Obviously, this was another tough year in that regard. And then obviously with the Trans Mountain Pipeline at a halt federally, what are you hearing from constituents, and what is your plan moving forward for 2019?
Well, we all know there is challenges, and I know that we, as even my constituents and myself, believe that pipelines are the most safest and efficient and reliable way to transport oil, and we need to get product to our global markets. It has been a challenging year. It actually has been a challenging last 4 years. I think the oil prices started to plummet in about 2014, right when I was elected in the by-election in November, and have been drastically going down since. And it really has hurt our economy, particularly here in Lloydminster and the surrounding area. We've seen lots of folks who have had to leave to find employment elsewhere, and now we're seeing investors moving to the States. And but Saskatchewan has stepped up and provided some incentives and tried to continue to invest or support our oil industry here in the province.
And speaking of investments, another topic is last year the government proposed an additional $4.9 million to tackle the issue of rural crime. And obviously that's a major issue for Lloydminster and area. So how has that helped the issue of rural crime? And moving forward, what can we look to as the government strategy to continue tackling this issue?
Well, as you know, the government did put forth protection and response teams around the province, and we have had them here in our area tackling some of the issues. We've also retrained some of our conservation officers and highway traffic officers in order to be able to assist the RCMP and police in attending to rural crime in the areas and being able to arrest people and detain them as well. And I think we have seen a significant decrease in numbers. There's no doubt there's still challenges. As we just talked about the economy being down, there's people resorting to drugs, and we have some people with mental health issues in our area particularly that are using drugs as a way to deal with some of their anxiety and their stress, and that has caused some criminal activity in the area as well. But our protection and response team and our additional officers have made a difference in the area.
Great. And so for you and for the area of Lloydminster, what has been some highlights this past year?
I think, as you said, addressing the rural crime, that has been an additive there as well. Our government has continuously stood up for our farmers in this area, and farming, as we know, is half of our GDP in this country, and we need to assure that we assist them. And with our government stepping forward and pushing the federal government on Bill C-49, which was the Transportation Modernization Act to get rail cars out there. Our farmers saw challenges in the spring of getting their product to market, and our government pushed the federal government to increase those number of rail cars, and we were able to help, and see a $13.9 billion exports of our farm products.
Yeah, definitely a big triumph. And so last year, Brad Wall announced his retirement, and then Scott Moe was then sworn in last February. So what was that transition like for you, and how do you think the province is looking under his leadership?
It was an interesting time back in January with the number of candidates running for leadership of our government, and it was an interesting process throughout the whole time, but I think that we have a strong leader in Scott Moe, and he has done all the right things, I believe, for the people of this province, and continued to stand up wherever need be, whether it was with the federal government or against other provincial premiers, in regards to making sure that the decisions we make as a government are right for the people of Saskatchewan and our economy.
All right, well, we will leave it with that. Thank you so much for making the time and sitting down with us today. We always look forward to chatting with you.
Thank you, Michaela, and I wish you and everyone a very Merry Christmas and all the best in the coming new year.
Thank you, you as well.